Good morning, everybody. It is July 19th, and she's going to be a hot one here today and for the next month until January, I believe, or a few months. July is here, and so is our heat. It's very well known. Oh, my goodness. We got a hawk's beard. We no longer have a hawk's beard, guys. Nope. That's volunteer mustard, if you're wondering. That was a hawk's beard. Anyways, continuing on. Back down south here, we are in our chickpea crop. And it's been 10 days since the last time we sprayed. So we're scouting. Typically, after you spray, you scout 7 to 10 days. I was up at Egg in Motion. Great show. And we just got down here. Myself and I just got down here to scout these chickpeas, scout the lentils, scout the durum. We got to keep scouting the crop. Things are definitely going backwards now with this heat. You don't really see it in the chickpeas, but you definitely see it in the durum and in the lentils, which we'll get to later on today. The chickpea crop is actually holding on really, really well. This is a sprayer track, if you're wondering. No, it is not. Yes, it is. No, it's not. This is my check strip. Sprayer tracks over on this side. That would make sense, because yeah, no, this is a check strip. Gosh, I gotta go back to bed, I guess. Anyways, let's look at these chickpeas. Find some sun. So we're potting. Normally there's 1 to 2 chickpeas per pod. Most of the time just 1, but sometimes 2. And we're also still flowering. I'm going to zoom in, see these little flowers. So the thing about chickpeas is, you guys, is they're a non-determinate crop. That means is as long as you keep getting moisture, they're going to keep growing. If we kept getting rain all through July, all through August, all through October, they would never come in, and then you would just lose your whole crop. But that is not a thing down here in southwest Saskatchewan. These suckers always come in because they will run out of moisture pretty soon. They're looking very dark green, which is good. That's what we want to see. So 10 days ago when we sprayed this, we actually had some disease. I think I did some scouting with you guys. And then we put Lentil on it, which is a group 21, I believe, and tank mixed with a group 11. Don't ask me why they throw in a group 11. All group 11s are resistant to Astacida down in this part of the world. But you got your group 21, which is a brand spanking new group to us fungicide users in the chickpea realm. Things are looking really, really good. You want to look on the leaves for disease. Just like the last video, you're looking for little brown specks, like little pieces of pepper. Like a little, like something like even smaller. Nope, nothing there. Okay. It will start off with little brown specks on the leaves. Typically, it always starts off closer down to the halfway part of the plant. Also, remember, do not confuse previous spots on the leaves from new growth, from 10 days ago to the new growth now. You don't want to be like, oh yeah, no, there's spots here, we got disease. That could be still some spots on the leaves and could be what I like to call wounds. You know, if you cut yourself, you have a problem. You normally have some scar tissue there, some wounds. That's what we're dealing with. But if you see anything on the new plants, the new growth, then you have a problem. It will go off the leaves and get to the branches. From the branches, you can get lesions, and then it will also infect the pods, which would abort the seed. Lesions would affect your yield because you would just lose a whole branch, which might have, like, I don't know, 10 pods on it. And then also you can affect the pods, aborting the seed. Also will lose yield and quality. So chickpeas is like kryptonite. Chickpeas. Astacida is kryptonite to chickpeas. A little bit of the leaves starting to brown off or turn yellow down there. That is not Astacida. That is just starting to run out of moisture. That's good old July for you. But overall, this looks to be an average crop. What is average anymore? It's a really good question. I don't know what this is going to go. We're a long ways off. But I'm really hoping that these do 30 bushels an acre. If we could keep getting some rain on them, if we can keep the disease out of them. We have had chickpeas do 40. We have had chickpeas do 50. We have had chickpeas do 60. The most we've ever had chickpeas do in our part of the world is 63 excuse me, bushels per acre. That is unbelievable type of crop. That is not normal. 30, 35 under normal conditions, if you can control your disease. If you're looking at all the yellow out here, this is my intercropping. All the chickpeas went on mustard stubble. And I did spray it because these are Clearfield variety. But I did not use enough because apparently the mustard pushed through. Let's go take a look at another piece of the field. All right, here's just another part of the field. This is a pretty large field. It's impossible to scout every acre of your land. So what I like to do is I like to pick a few spots throughout the whole growing season, and then you use those as your checks. So every time you come back to that same spot and you're like, oh yeah, we got disease, and you spray, you come back, hey, oh no, it's looking okay, and then use those as your checks. Don't get me wrong, you should probably drive around and visually look at everything to make sure everything's growing and there's no, surprises, because everyone knows Mike doesn't like surprises, but it's impossible to check every acre. We're just trying to keep a general sense of what's going on. Getting in off this headland. I always like to go off the headland if possible. No, I don't know why. I also hear the popping under my shoes. It's painful to hear. It means I'm breaking pods. This is definitely a lot thinner here, boy. This is not. I don't know why this. Oh, maybe this might have drowned out a little bit. Back when it was raining a lot. We haven't had rain in a while. We had 10 drops last night to kill the dust. Here we go. Here we go. All right. That looks really good. Again, you're looking for any little spots. These look really healthy. Yeah. These are good, guys. I don't need to scout this anymore. These chickpeas are fine. So it's been 10 days, so we're gonna check it again in 3. I like to check every 3 days once we start pushing it. My goal would be to, my goal would be to use only 1 more fungicide app on this, be a total of 4. My gut tells me it might be 5, like 2 more, total of 5, but we'll see. We'll see what this weather does. Let's go check out some other crops here. All right, we just got to these small green lentils. You've seen these before in a previous South Farm Tour video. They're starting to show signs of coming in. A little bit of some lightning right there. They're still pretty green, but. So with lentils, these are looking pretty good. We're looking for aphids now. They've already been sprayed. They've already been sprayed with a fungicide and lots of micros. So now we're kind of looking for aphids, and the best way to do that is just do a little walking, and we're going to look at our shoes. Little thinner than I'd like to see it on these headlands. How you can gauge if you have a really good crop of lentils is if that they're all filled in. You can't see between the rows. These are 12-inch spacing rows, but still, they'll fill right in. Like this. That's what you want to see. No rows. That looks good. Let's look at our shoes. I guess I should tie my lace. Here's one. That's nothing. It is an aphid. There's another one down there, a little baby one there, a big guy running around there. So there is a few out here, but that's not bad. But you do need to keep an eye on them because aphids can explode very quickly. Now, aphids are suckers. They latch onto your pod like this, and they'll break the seal of your pod, and it will dry up and abort that seed. There's always aphid pressure every single year, just like there's always disease pressure in chickpeas. But the thing is with disease pressure in chickpeas is it stays pretty consistent and it's always bad. Aphid pressure, some years you don't have to do nothing. Some years you have to spray. Last year we had to spray for aphids. This year I'm really hoping we don't have to. I'm hoping that there's going to be enough natural predators, such as ladybugs, to eat them. There was ladybugs last year too, but the pressure was just too much. We had to spray. See if we can find some ladybug larvae here, or just some ladybugs in general. Another thing to do is to shake them like this, then look at the ground. Oh, sorry, I almost dropped my phone here. So there's a few. So there's a few. There's definitely a few. So I need to monitor this field to make sure we don't have to spray them. If you have good ladybug pressure, it will help because they do eat aphids. But I don't really see much. Normally, yeah, I just don't see much for ladybugs in this field, or in this area of the field. Few grasshoppers, nothing crazy. Last year we had to spray for hoppers as well. Then we got some durum right across the road. It is heat wave in this durum. I don't know if you can see this. This is a nice bit of a low area right around the ditch. It's looking pretty good. You look up there, it's starting to heat wave. You see you got the dark green and you got the brown on the top. That's not good. But that is to be expected. We are losing the top end of our yield. This here is a bit of a low area. This is awesome. This is what the whole field potentially could have looked like. But we would need some rain in July. And then right here, it dips down. Dips down. So let's take a look at the best stuff. It's not that would be an average size head, I would say. That's average. Nothing crazy. Holy crap, there's some horseflies. You always know if a horsefly bites you, they take a chunk of it. You take your leg right off those things. Let's go up over here. I'm told that this is like a maggot. We always have some of this. It's not Fusarium. Yeah, this is a burnt out spot. See how this is turning blue? A light blue? That means it's literally starving for moisture. You can also tell that the leaves are burning off. These bottom leaves burning off here. This isn't good. This is 15 bushel down in here. Yes, I know my tire's low. Thank you for reminding me. And obviously you can tell it's a lot shorter. So harvest is actually coming in a lot quicker than I anticipated. You know, it was such a cool, wet spring. Some grasshoppers out here. And I thought, man, we're not gonna cut till September, but that's not true. With this heat, we're gonna cut in August. This is some good stuff. And it dips back down, it dips around in there. So anyways, you kind of get the idea. It's heat waving. That's part of the Southwest. Still going to cut more bushels this year than we did last year. We don't know exactly what we're going to cut yet because we're still a long ways away from the bin. If it just stays 32, 33 with not a lot of wind, it will definitely be better. If we start getting 20 and 30 and 40K winds, well then, obviously that's not awesome. This is great. This is beautiful in here. This is 40 in here. This might even be 50 in here. All right, let's go and let's go find some wheat. Let's go find some wheat. All right, this is some wheat. Wheat normally does better in dry conditions. It just does. At least in my experience, in this corner of the world. This stuff is looking pretty good. This was the very first field that we seeded. Again, still drying out. Leaves are burning off. You know, it looks good right here where there's some water, and then it cuts the heat wave out. But this is going to be a nice crop. This is probably the drier area right here, and maybe just poorly seeded. But it's turning. So I figure that oh my word. I figure that the wheat and the durum, well, this is a burnt out spot. This is definitely a burnt out spot. Look at this. That's not very good. Fortunately, it looks better over here. So anyway, the wheat and the durum is going to come in at the exact same time. Classic. I seed the wheat first. Wheat typically has a shorter growing season than durum, so I'm like, oh, I'm going to clean up all that wheat and then we'll go into the durum. I still hope that remains the fact, but we'll see. Looks pretty good though. I'm happy with it. I'm going to say we're about 4 weeks out. Normally when it looks ready to cut, you wait 2 more weeks. And we're probably still 2 weeks away from it looking ready to cut. So anyway, no matter what we cut this year, like I don't know what this is gonna go. I really don't know. I really hope for a 40. But it's filling right now. So it's just gonna depend on how well it fills in this heat, I guess. But even if it does, maybe I hope for a little too much. Even if it does 30, 35, that's still a lot better than my single digit yields last year. Remember when I was joking around last harvest that even if we get an average crop, it'd feel like we got a bumper crop? I feel like that's probably gonna be this year. I think that yields are probably gonna be in the 10-year average, and it's gonna feel like a bumper crop. All right, guys. Thanks for following me around. I really do appreciate it. Obviously, we're back down to 2 videos a week. I can't actually hardly keep up 3 videos a week, to be honest with you. Once harvest rolls around and there's even more equipment and stuff moving around, I'll try to get back to 3 videos. My workload obviously is going to increase even more. I'm only like 7 guys short or something like that, so I'm going to have to find a lot of crew here. Anyways, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Adios, amigos.